Become a dual threat hair loss specialist by getting certified in two of the most high in demand non-surgical hair replacement treatments. Learn how to do hair units and learn how to do scalp micropigmentation online in one class. Hair by Choice is the first ever certification class to teach both of these high ticket services effectively online. This course is packed with all of the practical and entrepreneurial knowledge you need to know in order to create a non-surgical hair replacement business for yourself, including assignments to practice at home or in shop and submit online before you ever have to experience a client. This is your opportunity to get ahead of the market and build a business not just for you, but for the millions of people who need your help restoring their hair and confidence. Pre-register right now to secure your spot in this highly requested course and get access to the hair unit chapters immediately. Every day you wake up with a chance and a choice. Take advantage of your chance today with Hair by Choice.
Damps.
On the weekend of November 29th, we will be in Toronto. We were actually going to Toronto for some business, but since we're out there, we've decided to open up a schedule. We rented out a space on November 29th in Toronto, Ontario, and we're going to be doing some hair units out there. So if you're interested in getting a hair unit done or even shadowing, because we're open to doing some education as well. So if you want to shadow or if you want to take an actual class, get to us as soon as possible. www.damps.ca. You can book that free consultation right now. That is if you want a hair unit in Toronto, November 29th. We'll be out there. So this client actually is coming in to clean up his unit. So the unit that you're going to see me use on this guy has been used before. And that's really the value of taking these long-term units, because if you know how to take care of them, I mean, this is a great option. You know what I mean? In terms of it'll last you 3 to 6 months and it'll stay looking fresh. You'll see by the end how he's looking. He's looking super clean at the end. Right now we're just breaking down that fade. You can see, if you see the white chalk at the front of his head, that's where his hairline's going to be. So we're giving him a low fade, nothing too high. I really like these types of cuts for hair units specifically because I find they grow in nicely with the unit. So the thing with curly hair is you got to make sure it's smoothed down. You got to make sure it's laid down flat. If it's not laid down flat, it won't look super clean. You know what I mean? So you're going to see me going with the grain of the hair and against it, but a lot with it, just to make sure that the hair lays down perfectly smooth and flat. I really just want to teach everybody this. You know, I do enjoy doing it, but my calling right now with all this hair stuff, including the hair units, I've had a lot of time to do research on what needs to be done in the hair game for men in the barber game, and I just really want to teach it now. But at the same time, I enjoy making people feel good. Like the reactions I get from these hair units, and not only after the first attempt, but like months down the line, people are thanking me like I saved their life. I had one client, listen to this, guys. I had one client move from Europe to Montreal. Like, blew my mind. Moved from Europe to Montreal just so I can consistently take care of his hair. Like that, completely different ball game from the barber game. That's why I'm always encouraging people, barbers and even non-barbers, to just get in the game. Because if you look at the barber game, for example, there's barbershops plural with an S on every single block. We don't see any of these hair replacement clinics. They're all hidden, and there are so very few of them. So it's a tremendous opportunity from a business perspective to get into this, because there's a high demand and there's a low supply. There's not too many people out there that can cater to anybody's hair loss needs. I deal with people who've had transplants, people who've had scalp micropigmentation. I deal with people who've taken minoxidil, used hair fibers. We have our own hair fibers, actually. And have literally sought every possible solution for hair loss. And I usually end up realizing that hair units is I do SMP too, okay? But I feel like hair units are probably the best at creating that texture that you want. Because even with hair transplants, the thing that people don't realize is there's a couple things. First, you need to have the donor hair. So you need the hair to lend to that area that has lost hair. But on top of that, what I've noticed is a lot of times people get transplants, the density, so the amount of hairs per square inch on their head is very low, which means the hair is spaced out. So at the end of the day, a lot of clients that I see that have had transplants typically look like they're in the process of losing their hair after the transplant. I've never seen, well, obviously I haven't seen one in person that was tremendous, just because a lot of times I'm dealing with people who want to get a hair unit. So it's a little different. But I mean, you can get immediate celebrity results. And when I say celebrity, I mean like you get the density, you get the color, you get the thickness right away. It takes a few hours, 2 to 3 hours, and you'll have the exact haircut that you want. And that's pretty cool in my opinion. And on top of that, it lasts you again 3 to 6 months, and even more depending on the type of base you use. It can last you up to a year. You know what I mean? Depends on what you take care of it too. Here we go. We're gonna draw a smiley face in here. This guy was happy before we ever got done. He knew what it was. He knew what it was. He knew he was gonna look good. I mean, it's incredible, guys. Like this type of energy, understanding that like you don't have to live with this problem. You know what I mean? There are solutions, and solutions that look extremely real. So I continue to teach. We have our online course up, online academy up, and we teach not only the application process of doing a hair unit, but we also teach how to source the hair, how to find vendors, how to do the business, how to market yourself, how to automate your marketing so that you can get return, so that you can sleep while you're getting clients. Essentially, it's super important, guys. With business, the one thing I learned this past year is doing everything on your own. That's not the right way to go about business. You know what I mean? Like when you're an entrepreneur, it's about really using your time wisely. You know what I mean? And it's not about working for money. It's not about working for money. It's about using your money to save you time, to grant you time, so that you can focus on the vision and building the actual business. Big realization. COVID was intense, you know what I mean? And again, I'm thankful for this type of service because it just kept me optimistic and positive throughout the whole process that I would be able to bounce back quickly, after lockdown was complete. And even before lockdown, like we were doing quite a few of these, and it just put us in a place where we weren't hurting, you know what I mean? So the other day I was on Instagram, and Kareem Bigsburg, that's Jay-Z's ex-business partner when they founded Rockaware Rockefeller, he had a quote on his Instagram page, and it read, "Maybe you're stuck because you're pushing a door that says pull." Now, I read that clicked with me right away. And I was trying to figure out, does this apply to me? Like, am I in that position where I'm pushing a door that is telling it to pull it open? You know what I mean? And am I putting pressure on myself but not really looking at everything that I have in front of me from the right perspective? Am I not reading? You know what I mean? So there's been plenty of times where I just kind of don't want to do hair anymore. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of times where I've just been like, yo, I'm done with it. And I don't want to do hair units. I don't want to do SMP. I don't want to do haircuts. I just want to do business. But it's interesting because as much as I try to distance myself from the game, there's little things that just keep pulling me back. And I think there's this whole concept of being an entrepreneur and what an entrepreneur looks like, where at times we forget that our story is our story. You know what I mean? It's not written by somebody else. It's not in a book already. I mean, we could take inspiration from a book, or from somebody else's story, but that is not our story. So I find myself a lot of times jumping and trying to make changes that don't necessarily work out,
Dams.
and getting
Dams.
pulled back by things that want to be in my life, that need to be in my life. And to be honest, the hair unit situation, I there was plenty of times where I just didn't want to do it anymore, and it just kept coming back to me. Like, people just kept finding me from all over the world, you know what I mean? And literally flying out to come see me.